Hey everybody, this is Gail Steves and I'm going over the week 13 news note for you. I started to dictate this and then I said, really, are we in week 13? And I had to go back and look and I'm like, yeah, we're in week 13. Wow. Where's it going, huh? The little drawing I have up there for you, a little picture, is something that I want you guys to review. It talks about the injury codes and how they work for you. This might be something to keep for you so you realize that you need all those characters when you're doing your coding in categories in chapters 19 and 20. So this might be something that will help you. Oh, sorry. Your homework this week was really good. There were a couple of things that a few of you had incorrect that were common. So number 26 was induced abortion complicated by endometriosis, which is the letter O, 04.5, abortion induced complicated by endometriosis. So that seemed to be a little bit easy, but a couple of you had is the letter O03. So I'm not quite sure why. Maybe you just didn't get that complicated by the endometriosis. Next one, anaphylactic shock, initial encounter. When you look this one up in the alphabetical index, you see that it's a default code of T78.2. So remember, you got to go into the tabular, and then you'll see that you need the seventh character. So it's T78.2XXA, and the A is for the initial encounter. Number 32 was a little difficult. No one had this entirely right as of me correcting everything around 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. A couple of you still haven't submitted your work, so it'll be interesting to see how those couple extra ones come through. But so this is the question. Initial encounter of a patient transported to the emergency department. The patient died from cardiac arrest due to accidental overdose from heroin abuse. Unfortunately, this is something that our area codes quite often with what happens here in Myrtle Beach. There's a lot of drug overdoses that happen here and several deaths that do happen from that. So it does hit home here quite frequently. There are three codes that are for this. So your first code is going to be from your tables of drugs and chemicals. You would go under the table of drugs and chemicals and you would look for heroin under the substances. And then you'd be looking for the poisoning, which is accidental, and it gives you the T40.1X1. And then you'll go over to your tabular to review, and then you're going to put the A for the initial encounter, so T40.1X1A. So that is for the patient that has an accidental accidental poisoning of heroin for the initial encounter. The second code would be for the heroin abuse. So in the index, you're going to look up abuse, and it's opioid, with a specified disorder. This code is going to be F11.188. The specified disorder in this case is for the cardiac arrest. So this is why you would not be using a type of generic code. There is a specific disorder here, which is the cardiac arrest, and this is the disorder that caused the drug that was caused, by the drug abuse. Then you're going to confirm it in the tabular. A lot of you used the F11.129 code, and that's for opioid dependence, where this is actual abuse. So you want to make sure that you're looking through those correct words of dependence and abuse. Your last code would be your I46.8 code for cardiac arrest due to a specified condition. And the specified condition here would be your drug overdose. So it wouldn't just be a generic code for cardiac arrest, because there is a reason that the patient had cardiac arrest. It was due to having a drug overdose. This week we're going to continue in Chapter 7 of the Step-by-Step book. These are some things that you're going to go over, and Chapter 9 is your injuries. Poisonings and certain other consequences of external causes, jam-packed full of facts. The seventh character extension is used in this chapter. This is when you really have to start remembering that you have to use that seventh character. So here you go. I'm going to give you some of what these all are. So A is for your initial encounter, used for when there is active treatment going on. D is your subsequent encounter, when a patient completes the active phase of treatment and is receiving routine care during healing and recovery phase. This happens a lot when you have a fracture code and the patient is healing well with having a cast put on there. Then they would be using the D. Sequela, the S code, the sequela is used for complications or conditions that arise as a direct result of the condition. Example is scar is a sequela of a burn. S is added to the injury code. The sequela, the condition, is the first is listed followed by the injury code, which is the S code. So the scar would be listed first, and then the sequela would be the burn code with the letter S. Now fractures have some different types of seventh characters. A is the initial encounter of a closed fracture. B is the initial encounter of an open fracture, that it would be a type 1 or a type 2 fracture, or an encounter for a fracture that is open, that is not specified what kind of type it is. C is going to be your initial encounter for an open fracture type 3A, 3B, or 3C. And then your D is your subsequent encounter for closed healing of for a closed fracture with routine healing. And then E goes for your subsequent encounter of your open fracture. So this is like your B, but it's going to be for your subsequent encounter of the type 1, type 2, or again the open fracture that's not the fracture that's not specified. So this is your routine healing for those. F is for the subsequent encounter for the open fracture type 3A, 3B, 3C with the routine healing. G is for the subsequent encounter for a closed fracture with delayed healing. So we go from the initial encounter up here to the subsequent encounter here with routine healing, and then now we're going into the delayed healing. So G is for your closed fracture with delayed healing. H is for your open fracture type 1, 2, subsequent encounter with delayed healing. J is for your subsequent encounter open fracture type 2, I'm sorry, 3A, 3B, or 3C with delayed healing. K is your subsequent encounter for a closed fracture with a non-union. Then M is your subsequent encounter for a open fracture with type 1, type 2 with a non-union. N, subsequent encounter for an open fracture type 3A, B, C with non-union. And P, subsequent encounter for closed fracture with malunion. Q, subsequent encounter for open fracture type 1 or 2 with malunion. Your R is your subsequent encounter for open fracture 3A, B, or C with a malunion. And S is going to be your sequela, like we talked about before. Burns, you can see that they are broken up into a lot of codes. So when you have a chance, go there and take a peek. They are broken up into burns and corrosions. They are broken up by the body area along with laterality and the degree of the burn. Please remember that when you code burns, you code the most severe burn listed first. So if there is a 3rd degree burn of the right ankle, a 2nd degree of the right foot, the 3rd degree is listed first, which is T25.311A, and then your foot code would be T25.221A. Also, please remember when you're coding burns, if there are multiple degree burns at the same site, you would only code the most severe. The other degrees are bundled into the most severe code. So if you have a first degree burn and a second degree burn of your left wrist, you would code only the second degree burn, T23.27A. Also, you will be using extent codes when the medical record states as such. So your extent codes are in the T31 codes, and they tell you how much of the body is burned. And T3 codes are for the extent of the body, for the body that of how much the body has been corroded or from corrosion. The fourth character is the percent of the body surface that has been affected, so your whole body surface has been affected. And your fifth character is for the percent of the third degree burn. So the percentage of the body surface is broken up into rules of 9. And I have 1391 in your ICD-10 book, but I'm not quite sure where that is in this year's volume of the book. This is I copied this from last year information. So let me just go over what these categories are. So T31.0 is less than 10% of the body surface. T31.1 is 10 to 19% of the body surface. T31.3 is 30 to 39% of body surface. T31.4 is 40 to 49% of the body surface. T5 is 50 to 59% of the body surface. T6 is 60 to 69. T7 is 70 to 79. T8 is, T31.8 is 80 to 89, and T31.9 is 90 or more of the body surface. So again, this is the total body surface would be T31 plus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it kind of makes sense. So 1 would be 10 to 19, 2 would be 20 to 29. The only one that kind of doesn't make sense is the 0 because it's less than 10%, but you know, that's how that one goes. So those other ones should be a little bit easier for you to understand. Now the fifth character is into the digits 0, and they go all the way down to 9 again, like the body surface, the total percent of the body surface. So the third degree burn will be your fifth character. So the fifth character 0 for the third degree burn would be 0 through 9% of your body would have the third degree burn. So the fifth character 1 would be 10 to 19% would have the third degree burn. Your fifth character 2 is 20 to 29% of your body surface is third degree. 3 would be 30 to 39% would be third degree. 4 would be 40 to 49% of the third degree. Fifth, 50 to 59. 6, 60 to 69. 7, 70 to 79. 8, 80 to 89. And 9 would be 90 or above. That would be your percentage of your third degree burns. So again, that would be for the fifth character. So a couple of examples is 62% total body with 33 degree of your burn, of your third degree burn. So your T31 is your category, and then the 6 is for the 62% of the total body, and your 3 is for your 33%. So it's T31.63. 45% total body with 0 third degree would be T31.40. Again, 4 for your 45 and 0 because there's 0%. 39% total body with 19 third degree burn would be T31. 3 for your 39% and 1 for your 19%. I hope that you guys understand this a little bit better, and if you have any questions, please let me know about that. Also, I put down here about safe training. This is something that the school wants you guys to know about. I know most of you are online, but if you are here on campus at all, please review that. They want to know this is talking about any dangerous situations. They want you and me to take this. So if you guys can click on that, I appreciate it. I will be trying to upload this again. I've been having trouble, as you guys can probably see from last week, it being on YouTube. So I'm hoping to get it back up on a regular way this week. If not, then you'll find it again on YouTube when I upload the link to you. So if you guys need me for anything, please let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great week.